Hello there. My name is Patrick Bitature. And last week we talked about courage. I introduced it in the series Built to Last, and I was emphasizing the role of courage. This week I'd like to talk a bit about some of the examples where I found myself in a challenging environment. And if it wasn't for my gut instinct, if it wasn't for the courage that is inherently now in me, I probably wouldn't have done what I was supposed to do. I wouldn't have done the things that I did to deliver me to where I am today. I recall in 1998, I tried all kinds of businesses. I'd brought in wrestlers from America, and I'd flown to America to meet these wrestlers, to bring them to Uganda and try something like a gig here, where you bring these wrestlers, because Ugandans love to watch wrestling on TV. So I went and brought these giant-sized men from America. I went to Philadelphia, signed a contract with these people, and I had to fly them to Uganda, 25 of them. It was such big men, I'd organized to bring them economy. None of them could sit on the economy seat. They had to have business class seats just because of their size. So they insisted. So the costs kept running away. And I wasn't sure what I'm doing now. The cost more than doubled. I had to put them up at the Serena Hotel. At the time, it was called the Night Hotel. And we organized an event. I had no idea about how this event would work out. I personally had to move around, marketing the event, telling people that now these people are here. And people didn't believe that you're bringing these actors from America, the real wrestlers. So we put them on pickups and drove through Kampala, showing them the wrestlers had arrived. And that got a bit of a stir. And then everybody had to come, buy a ticket to watch these wrestlers live. We set up a ring at the Serena Hotel. That night, we were sold out, a packed house. And the wrestlers, they did their bit. The TV cameras were there, and these people were divided. This group versus that group. And whenever they'd meet, even in public, they throw chairs and break windows and all the glasses. They have these fights. So they built up the hype. Then that night, we had this show. I'd hired somebody to come on the show as our MC to do the announcement. And last minute, he chickened out. I remember it's somebody who's now a member of parliament who had agreed to be their MC. He runs a radio station, and he was going to be the ideal person. He had seen this in America. He had practiced it. But last minute, I didn't have an MC who would introduce the actors. I had no choice but to go up in the ring. I had put too much on the line. So I went in there, and I was now the MC, inviting everybody, ladies and gentlemen. And I bring you these wrestlers. And I'm trying to act this part. I had to have exceptional courage to do something I had not prepared myself for at all. But I wasn't going to let the whole show go down because I didn't have an MC. And then the wrestlers came on board. King Kong Bundy, some of those big names that people had heard of, and they saw these people fight on the stage. And it was an excellent performance for 2 hours. And there was so much blood coming from some of these people. People thought that these people are using paint. But we realized that it's a show, it's a business. They take a chemical so that when they bleed, they cannot stop bleeding until they take another tablet to stop the bleeding. They cannot clot. Even if it's a tiny cut, it will bleed profusely, but they planned for it. And they knew what they were doing. They took courage in what they were doing. I took courage in hosting this event. I entered into an area that I had no idea about. Fortunately, it was a very successful event. And these people went back to America. They had a great time in Uganda. And for the next 10 years, this group has always been asking me to bring them back to Uganda. But I'd learned, I'd taken a risk. Thank you very much. That was not exactly my cup of tea. Just shortly after that, I got into the MTN business, which again required courage from me of a different kind. I was tasked at the time by MTN to open 10 shops in Kampala. In those days, nobody had several stores. The people who had shops had the keys to their shop. They would open their shop and close it that evening. In the morning, they open and they close it, and they keep the keys. That's how shops were run. How do you open 10 shops and empower people to run your business? You give them the cash and the stock and the phones in all these shops at the same time. When you balance, how do you close? I had to take a chance. I had to have faith in these young people who had recruited and trained in that short period. Because from day one when MTN shops were open, we were inundated with customers. The price of a SIM card came from $100 to $5. Everybody could afford a SIM card. The price of a mobile phone came from $300 to $60. Everybody wanted a mobile phone. We were inundated by public. Everybody was just giving you a bundle of cash. You don't even count the money. Just put it in a box, connect a SIM card, and give it to a customer. And they would go away so happy, beaming that they bought a phone. And we did that for day after day after day. And our targets for the year, we had acquired, hit them within 3 months. Over 100,000 customers. So that was an area where I ventured into, trusted young people, fitted out all these shops, put managers there and left them the keys, left them the money, left them the stock, and believed that they would deliver. And that's how my journey in the telecom business began. It took courage. Why could I do this? Even my friends who were senior to me, they advised me that I'm going to lose my shirt. How can you do this? Someone who I respected so much, Karim Hirji, he keeps the keys of his store. He had a shop on Duruk Street. He was one of the most successful people. But he kept the keys to his stores. He says, you can't leave things to people. You lose everything. But slowly I rolled out to Jinja, to Masaka, to Tororo, to Mbarara, to Kabale, to Fort Porto. I started opening a network of shops. Before I knew it, there were 60 shops serving customers. Some of the staff had not seen me physically. They were recruited. And then I scaled. I went to Tanzania, I went to Kenya, and I did the same thing. More than 60 shops in each country, retailing mobile phones and airtime, connecting customers. And I realized there was a link. People wanted to be connected. That took courage. Of course, 1 or 2 people will disappoint you, cheat you here and there. But by far and large, it was a bold move. You have to have the guts to be able to take an initiative like that and to see it through to the end. And that's why you need courage in entrepreneurship. More to come next week. Thank you. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe, share this video, and let the young people of the region, not just Uganda, know what you have learned today. I hope it has been useful. Thank you very much.